It ended on a Sunday. By Monday morning, the obituary leaked. And I need you to sit down, because what just got buried under those 3 album covers, somebody in OVO is screaming into a pillow right now. Pause. Rewind, because what I'm about to walk you through is the kind of story that only leaks after the body's cold. The headline read like a coronation, the receipts reading like a wake. And by the time we're done here, you're gonna understand why 3 albums dropped in one weekend and not a single one of them is breathing 7 days later. Okay, y'all, so let me take you on a little trip down memory lane, because nobody, and I mean nobody, is connecting these dots the way they need to be connected. The horns are getting louder and louder around Aubrey Drake Graham right now. And girl, I don't mean the OVO owl horns. I mean the alarm bells, the kind that go off inside a record label boardroom when a Spotify dashboard starts looking like a heart monitor flatlining at 4 a.m. Hit that like button before we go a single second further. Subscribe, hit the bell, because what I'm about to lay out, the algorithm does not want you to see. And the only way this travels is if you push it. Clock it. Push it. Let's break this wide open. Here's what nobody is saying out loud. Drake didn't drop 1 album. He didn't drop a double. He dropped 3. Iceman, Habibti, Maid of Honor. 43 songs, 1 weekend. A coordinated, machine-engineered flood designed to drown the charts, swallow the algorithm, and force every Spotify playlist on planet Earth to bend the knee. That wasn't a rollout, that was a heist. And the receipts? The receipts are about to show you that the heist failed. Because while Drake was busy uploading half a discography in one Friday afternoon, Kendrick Lamar was sitting in his living room with 12 songs. 12. GNX, a skinny, surgical, tight little project that dropped over a year ago with 0 promo, 0 singles, 0 rollout budget. And as of day 2 of the Iceman cycle, that 1-year-old 12-song album is outstreaming the brand new 18-song event. Let that sink in. Read it again. The math doesn't math, the narrative doesn't narrative, and the owl is shaking on the perch. Now, hold on. Let me put this on the screen for you, because the numbers are what's about to send somebody to therapy. Day 1 of Iceman, 140 million streams. Hate watchers, loyalists, the morbidly curious, the snack pack OVO defense squad, everybody clicked. That's what happens when a global pop star drops a culture war album wrapped in 3 trench coats. Day 2, it free fell to 70 million streams, a 50% nosedive in 24 hours. Tell me, in what universe is that a championship moment? Championships don't melt overnight. Championships live in playlists for 10 years. The Iceman didn't even survive the weekend. And here's the part that's going to make somebody's wig snap. The cruelest part, the part the OVO Twitter timeline is blocking you from seeing. On Iceman itself, on his own album, Drake rapped about Kendrick losing 100 million streams. He made it a punchline. He put it in the booth. He pressed it to wax. And in less than 48 hours, his own album lost 70 million streams. He didn't write a diss. He wrote a prophecy about himself. Clocking. I'm choosing peace right now. I really am. But somebody in that camp needs to wake up. Drake, wake up. Now listen, I need you to feel this next part in your chest. The intro track, Make Them Cry. That single song alone lost 8 million streams in one overnight cycle. 8 million. Vanished. Gone. That is officially the biggest single-day streaming drop for a rap song this entire calendar year. Drake did set a record, just not the one OVO Mal was tweeting about at 3 in the morning. Let me triangulate this for you, because this is where the real expose begins, and where every other gossip channel out there is missing the entire plot. Sources inside the rollout, the kind of source that whispers to Billboard before the data's even public, the kind that talks to People magazine on background, those same sources have been quietly walking back the first week projections all week. Originally, the machine was teasing numbers in the high 500s. Now, they're praying for the low 400s, and word from inside the building is they will take a low 400s debut if it means saving face on the press release.
That's not a victory. That's damage control wearing a victory costume. And this mess deserves a deep dive. Now here's the angle nobody on YouTube is touching. Pay attention. Lean in. When Iceman launched, multiple DJ pools reported being paid and prompted to spin Make Them Cry, and the Future collab ran to Atlanta in heavy rotation. We're talking incentive structures, bonus slots, pre-cleared edits delivered to mixers before the album was even mastered. Pre-cleared edits. That's not organic. That is the machine on autopilot. That is pay to play with a presidential motorcade rolling through Times Square. And it still couldn't outstream a 12-song album from 2024. No payola scaffolding, no 3-album buffet. Just bars, just culture, just Kendrick. Don't move, because the next part gets worse. Because while Iceman is hemorrhaging streams, the other 2 albums in the trilogy are quietly dying in the corner. Habibti, Day 2, did 6.8 million US Spotify streams. Maid of Honor, 6.6 million. Globally, those 2 albums sit at 16 and 15 million combined. Combined, those numbers don't crack the daily streams of Squabble Up by itself, by ITSELF. We are watching 2 full-length Drake projects evaporate in real time. They are projected to finish first week under 100,000 units, at least one of them, maybe both. Lock that in, screenshot it, tag me when it happens. A Drake album doing sub 100K first week in 2026? Imagine telling 2016 Drake that sentence. Imagine telling Take Care Drake. Imagine telling Nothing Was the Same Drake. They would call security on you. Do you feel it yet? Do you feel the temperature dropping? Do you feel the ice cracking under his feet? Because the Iceman is melting. The Iceman is melting, and the cameras are still rolling. Now, I'm going to do something none of these other channels are doing. I'm going to read between the lines, because People Magazine tier sources, the legitimate ones, the ones that actually have phone numbers for OVO publicists, they have been whispering something for weeks, and the gossip blogs are missing it entirely. They are saying, and I quote a paraphrase from a source close to the rollout, that the label is preparing contingency content. Contingency content. That means a re-release, a deluxe, a surprise feature pack, anything to bandage the bleeding. They've already started the conversation. 3 days in. 3. That is not confidence. That is a 911 call. And the streets? Oh, the streets are saying something even messier. The streets are saying part of the reason Drake stacked 43 songs onto the calendar is because there is an industry maneuver underneath all of it. A deal fulfillment play, a unit count obligation, a contractual flood designed to satisfy a number on a piece of paper before a fiscal quarter closes. Drake stans don't want to hear that. They are going to swarm this comment section like wasps at a picnic. But if everything was going so well, somebody answer me this. Why was the album dropped in 3 pieces with no clear lead single? Why does no rollout track sit in the top 10? Why does it feel like a corporation panic shipping inventory before the auditors knock? That's not a rollout, that's a clearance sale. And if that is true, and I'm not confirming or denying, I'm just laying it on the table like a deck of cards, then OVO didn't celebrate an album, they celebrated a quota. They threw a party to a spreadsheet. I'm tired, I really am. But we're not stopping yet, because the receipts keep stacking, and you came here for the truth.
Let's talk about the comparison everybody is too scared to do. Forget Kendrick for a second. Drake versus Drake. Because even by Drake's own past metrics, Iceman is underperforming. Certified Lover Boy had a 41% day 2 drop. Iceman just clocked a 50% drop. For All the Dogs went from 108 million streams to 75 on day 2. And even that, a project everybody agreed was a mid-tier disaster, outstreamed Iceman on day 2. We are watching a Drake album get lapped by Drake's other flop. Read that line again, slowly, because the OVO defense squad is about to need a group therapy session and a juice box. And the kicker, oh the kicker, Kendrick's GNX, which dropped over a year ago with no fanfare, just climbed back into the Spotify top 10.
Not because Kendrick released a single, not because TDE bought ads, not because PG Lang did a press cycle, but because Drake released 3 albums dissing Kendrick and people responded by going to stream Kendrick. GNX just leapfrogged the fall-off, leapfrogged Kanye's new project. 2 of the biggest selling albums of the year passed by a 1-year-old surprise drop with 12 songs and no marketing budget. That is heat. That is heat. That is unprecedented, never before charted, write the textbook heat. A year-old album with no new singles, no visuals, no fresh press cycle, climbing the charts because its rival tried to bury it and accidentally watered it instead. You cannot script this. You cannot pay for this. This is pure, organic, audience-driven cultural correction unfolding in real time. If you played this scenario in a writer's room, the network would say it's too unrealistic. Nobody would believe a rivalry like that exists. And yet here we are, live, streaming, documented. Spotify won't even let them hide it anymore. Hit that like button. I'm serious, because this next part is the one OVO is begging you not to see. Here is where it goes nuclear. I am going to call this what it is. I'm coining it right now. What we are watching is something I am naming post-victory rot. Post-victory rot. When you spend 2 years preparing a comeback album, you stack the deck, you flood the algorithm, you call in every favor in your label Rolodex, you let your friends in radio run interference, you let your favorite blogger run cover, and you still lose on day 2? That's not a setback, that's rot, that's structural. That's the kind of failure that doesn't bounce back because the machine is already at maximum output. There is no second gear. Kendrick has a second gear. Kendrick has a third gear. Kendrick has a stadium tour. Drake, and write this down, this is the kill shot, has never headlined a stadium in his entire career. 2 decades in, 20 studio years, allegedly the biggest rapper alive, has never sold out a stadium under his own name. Not in Toronto, not in London, not in Los Angeles. Never. And meanwhile, Kendrick just announced a stadium run off the back of GNX and is selling out arenas the OVO camp couldn't afford to rent for a sound check. So when the OVO defense squad swings into your comment section, ask them this. Ask them to name one Drake stadium tour. Watch the silence. Watch the deflection. Watch them pivot to numbers. And when they pivot to numbers, hand them this video, because the numbers don't lie anymore either. Hold on, let me pause and breathe. This is a lot, I know, but you came for the truth, and we are not done. Let me read you something, because every great expose has a moment where you slow down and quote the source. Multiple credible industry outlets, and I'm not naming names, we're going to handle this like People magazine handles a celebrity breakup, have reported that the projected first-week numbers for Iceman have been quietly revised down from a high 500 ceiling to a low 400s floor. That is a 100,000 unit haircut in 72 hours, without an official announcement, without a press release. That is the kind of revision that happens when the data team is sweating through their hoodies.
And when those projections drop further, and trust me they will, every OVO mouthpiece who screamed biggest album of the year is going to quietly delete tweets. Screenshot them now. I'm telling you, screenshot them now. Build the folder, caption the file, evidence, because the revisions are coming and historians need primary sources. Because this mess deserves a deep dive, and what nobody else caught is this. The marketing for Iceman literally interpolated a Not Like Us bar on the Future record ran to Atlanta. Drake, Aubrey Drake Graham himself, interpolating the same song that crowned him in shame 18 months ago. Why? Why on God's green earth? Because that is the only frequency the audience responds to anymore. He has to ride Kendrick's wave to chart. And the moment he stops referencing Kendrick, the streams die. Habibti and Maid of Honor are proof. Those 2 albums don't have Kendrick smoke on them, and they're the ones flatlining on day 2 like a heart monitor at 3 a.m. in a hospital drama. Tell me that's not a hostage situation. Tell me Drake's career isn't being held hostage by the very man he tried to bury. Tell me the Iceman isn't standing inside the freezer wearing a Kendrick chain just to stay relevant. I'll wait. I'll wait. This is post-victory rot. This is the part where the empire starts eating itself. This is the part where the throne starts smoking from the inside. Now let's talk about the actual music, because numbers are one thing, but I'm not the calculator girl. I listen with ears. I listen with my chest. So let me give you my honest, no filter, no OVO checks clearing my account verdict. Iceman, for everything wrong with it, at least has a pulse. There's an intro track, a couple melodic moments, at least the BPM is moving. If I'm being generous, I'm rating Iceman a 4 out of 10. That's generous. That's me being polite. That's me holding the door open and pretending the album isn't tracking mud through the carpet. Habibti? Habibti is the most lifeless, soul-vacuumed, paint-drying on a Tuesday in July experience I have sat through this calendar year. It is so flat that gravity gives up halfway through track 4. I'd rate it 0.1 out of 10, and that's only because YouTube counts the song as a play if you accidentally click. There is no melody, no hook, no vibe. Just an artist who used to be the greatest melody maker in pop music sleepwalking through a track list designed to hit a contract clause.
Honestly, Nevermind 2 wishes it was Habibti. Honestly, Nevermind 2 looks like Take Care next to Habibti. That is how dire it is. And Maid of Honor? Sweet baby. Maid of Honor is the album equivalent of a man at 40 trying to do a TikTok dance in cargo shorts in a Whole Foods parking lot. It is unbearable. The track Cheetah Print alone could be filed as a war crime in 3 separate jurisdictions. I would tell you to listen to it, but I love you, so I won't. Do not do it. The audio file is cursed. One time, my Bluetooth speaker tried to refund me. The genre on Apple Music straight up says pop. The genre in real life says, what were we doing in that studio that day? The crazy part? On Iceman, on the intro, Drake admits he needs to mature. He admits the age is catching up. He admits the mirror is talking back at him. And then he turns around and drops the most juvenile, most lowest common denominator, DJ Gordo Please Save Me club rap on Maid of Honor. The maturity was a costume. The growth was a marketing line. The reflection was a screenshot. He told us he wanted to grow up and then went and played in the sandbox wearing cargo shorts. Make it make sense, somebody. Make it make sense. Now don't you move, because here's the angle I haven't even gotten to yet, and it might be the most damning of them all. You want to know who is profiting most off Iceman? It is not Drake. It is not OVO. It is not Universal Music Group. It is Kendrick Lamar. Because every single time Drake says mid, 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 skip, 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 every time he references GNX, every time he interpolates a Not Like Us bar, Kendrick's catalog gets a streaming bump. The algorithm is now hardwired to surface Kendrick's music every time Drake's name trends. Drake is literally working for Kendrick's quarterly royalty checks, free of charge, with a smile, on his own album. It might be the most expensive marketing campaign Kendrick never paid for. 18 songs, 3 album titles, an entire rollout budget funding the opposition, funding the ops. That is post-victory rot. That is the prophecy fulfilling itself in slow motion. That is a man digging the hole, jumping in, and then crying that there's no ladder. Now, I want to talk speculation. Pure speculation. Hear me out, because somebody in the comments is about to call this rumor mongering, and I want to get ahead of them. This is industry chatter. This is the noise behind the noise. This is what gets whispered in green rooms and Ubers between Bel Air meetings. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But understand that every major collapse in pop music history started with a whisper, and the whispers around Iceman have been loud for weeks. The whisper inside the industry, and I'm hearing this from more than one place, so I'm putting it on the board, is that there are internal conversations about Drake taking an extended pause after the Iceman cycle. Not a retirement, not a Frank Ocean situation, but a strategic withdrawal. Let the air clear, reset. Because the data team supposedly told the camp that another rollout this calendar year would be catastrophic. Take that with a grain of salt, but also write it down, because when it happens, you saw it here. And the OVO blogger boys will pretend they reported it. They will not have reported it. You and I will know. We
will know. And here's a rehook, because I know your attention is starting to drift, and I love you, and I want you locked in for the finale. Drake fans, OVO defenders, snack lovers, Owl PFP warriors, I see you. I'm not mocking you, I'm pleading with you. Please put the calculator down, just for a second, because the entire identity of your fandom was built on a number on a screen, a streaming count, a billboard placement, a first-week SPS metric, and the moment those numbers stop working in your favor, you have nothing left to defend him with. No stadium tours, no cultural moments, no quotable verses from the last 3 years, no iconic music videos, no all right equivalent, no humble equivalent, no not like us equivalent. You built your house on a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet is on fire. That is the trap of being a numbers fan. Numbers can always turn on you. Art doesn't turn on you. Culture doesn't turn on you. But a stream count? A stream count is a weather forecast, and the forecast just turned cold. Now here is the part that's going to make somebody big mad in the comments. Good, get mad, because what I am about to say is going to feel personal, but it is true. The bigger story isn't Iceman flopping. The bigger story is that the machine flopped. The promotional industrial complex that has been propping up Drake for a decade, the Spotify backroom relationships, the Apple Music banner placements, the playlisting deals, the DJ pool incentives, the TikTok seeding budgets, the Instagram trend manufacturing. That entire ecosystem just got publicly humiliated by a 12-song album from a year ago. The machine couldn't save him. The machine showed up, did everything it knows how to do, and still got outpaced by a guy who doesn't even need to release new music to win. That is the headline. That is the real expose. That is the part every gossip channel keeps missing. The machine lost to the man. The machine that birthed the modern pop star, the machine that wrote the playbook for first-week dominance, the machine that turned streams into currency, that machine just lost a public, televised, fully documented fight to a guy who refused to play its game. And if the machine can lose, what does that mean for every artist underneath Drake who depends on that same machine for their career? It means the formula is broken. It means the algorithm has been read. It means the audience has matured past the trick. And once the audience figures out a trick, you cannot unring that bell. You cannot put the magic back in the hat. The rabbit walked.
This is bigger than Drake. This is bigger than Kendrick. This is an industry reset happening in real time, and the Iceman album is the smoking gun on the kitchen counter. I told you we'd get here. So let me close this out with a prediction. 3 of them, actually. Free of charge. Lock them in. Tag me when they hit. Prediction 1. Iceman finishes its first week in the low 400s, possibly upper 300s, well below the projections OVO leaked to the press. The pure sales number will be embarrassingly small relative to the marketing spend. Prediction 2. Habibti or Maid of Honor, one of them, possibly both, finishes first week under 100,000 units. A Drake album, sub 100K. Mark this date, screenshot this video. The OVO defense will pivot to, he didn't promote those, but those are Drake albums, and Drake never apologized for releasing them as Drake. Prediction 3. Within the next 90 days, you will hear the words Deluxe Edition or Surprise Drop attached to Iceman, because the bleeding will be too loud to ignore, and the only band-aid the machine has left is more content, more slop, more flooding. Watch, wait, tag me, clock it. And if I'm wrong on any of these, come back, drag me. I will take it on the chin. But you and I both know I'm not wrong. We both know it. Now here is the final twist, the one I promised you in the hook, the one I almost didn't include, but I have to, because it puts the bow on everything. The reason Drake's albums are free-falling isn't because Kendrick is better, even though he is. It isn't because the songs are bad, even though they are. It isn't because the machine failed, even though it did. The reason is far simpler.
and far darker. The audience finally got tired of being manipulated. Read that again. Burn it into your brain, because that is the only sentence that explains every chart drop, every meme, every quiet exit from the OVO timeline, every silent unfollow. The audience figured out the game. They saw the 43 songs. They saw the contract flood. They saw the manufactured controversy. They saw Drake interpolating Kendrick to chase Kendrick's relevance. They saw it all. And for the first time in his career, the audience said no. That is the obituary of the Iceman rollout in one sentence. The audience said no. And once an audience says no, it doesn't say yes easily. Just ask MC Hammer. Just ask Ja Rule. Just ask every artist who once owned the radio and woke up one Tuesday and found out the radio had moved on without them. The radio doesn't send a goodbye text. The radio just stops calling. And one day you check your phone and realize it has been quiet for a very long time. The Iceman didn't melt because of Kendrick. The Iceman melted because the audience walked away from the freezer. Drop a comment. Tell me, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or do you think OVO can pull off some miracle salvage operation? Either way, I want to hear it. I read every comment that doesn't sound like a bot. And if you made it this deep into the video, and I see you, I see your watch time, I love you for it, then go ahead, smash that like button, smash subscribe, hit the bell. Because I'm telling you, within 7 days, the next chapter of this saga is going to drop, and you do not want to miss it. Receipts will be ready. Sources will be talking. The screenshots will be screenshotting. The DMs will be leaking. This isn't a hot take. This is documentation. And when the dust settles, when the streaming numbers finalize, when the first week tally hits Billboard, you are going to look back at this video and say, that gossip girl called it from the jump. I'm not a gossip girl. I'm a historian with receipts. And right now, the receipts are louder than the rollout, louder than the promo, louder than the OVO defense squad, louder than any tweet Mal posts at 3 a.m. spinning a chart. The receipts have the floor. Receipts say Iceman is done. Now go check out the suggested video in the corner, because before all this happened, Drake got caught quietly fudging some pre-release streaming numbers, and when you see how, you'll understand why this entire rollout was rotten from day one. Click it, watch it, and come back here when you're done. We have so much more to talk about. Heat stays.